Engagement rings are often worn on the fourth finger of the left hand. The ancient Greeks maintained that finger contains the vena amoris, or the vein of love that runs straight to the heart. Psychologists argue that we fall in love with someone who has similar qualities to the parent with whom we have unresolved childhood issues. Unaware, we are seeking to resolve this childhood relationship in adulthood. Thinking of love influences creativity and abstract thoughts, as well as long-term planning. Thinking of sex, however, influences immediate decision-making, and attention to momentary details. Cleopatra wasn't actually Egyptian. As far as historians can tell, Egypt's famous Femme fatale was actually Greek. She was a descendant of Alexander the Great's Macedonian general Ptolemy. During the Salem witch trials, the accused witches weren't actually burned at the stake. The majority were jailed, and some were hanged. But none of the 2,000 people accused ever got burned alive. The shortest war in history lasted 38 minutes. It was between Britain and Zanzibar and known as the Anglo-Zanzibar War. This war occurred on August 27, 1896. It was over the accession of the next Sultan in Zanzibar, and resulted in a British victory. Ferrets, dogs, and monkeys were the most popular pets in the Roman Empire. Instead of cats, ancient Romans used ferrets to hunt mice and rats. They used dogs as guards, and monkeys as entertainment. Mary indeed had a little lamb. Her name was Mary Sawyer. She was an 11-year-old girl and lived in Boston, and one day was followed to school by her pet lamb in the late 1860s. Cheese is addictive in a way similar to drugs, because of a chemical called casein, which is found in dairy products and can trigger the brain's opioid receptors. There are more life forms living on your skin than there are people on the planet. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. A broken clock is right 2 times every day. Chewing gum while you cut an onion will help keep you from crying. Cotton candy was invented by a dentist. In 2006, someone tried to sell New Zealand on eBay. The price got up to $3,000 before eBay shut it down. A woman from California once tried to sue the makers of Cap'n Crunch, because the crunch berries contained no berries of any kind. Every year more than 2,500 left-handed people are killed from using right-handed products. Ever wonder where the phrase "it's raining cats and dogs" comes from? In the 17th century, many homeless cats and dogs would drown and float down the streets of England, making it look like it literally rained cats and dogs. Human birth control pills work on gorillas. The harder you concentrate on falling asleep, the less likely you are to fall asleep. Beetles taste like apples, wasps like pine nuts, and worms like fried bacon. Muscle loss due to aging is known as sarcopenia, and naturally starts happening once you pass age 30. Without exercise, you'll lose from 3% to 5% of your muscle mass per decade. There are twice as many gyms in the United States as there are McDonald's restaurants. There were over 30,000 gyms in the US in 2012, compared to about 14,000 McDonald's. Half the people who go to the gym aren't there to work out. 50% of the 2,000 participants said they never even exercise when they're there. Instead, they show up to hang out with friends or check out the opposite sex. The sentence, "The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog," uses every letter in the English language. You can estimate the temperature of a place by the number of times some crickets chirp in a second. Food tastes and smells different as the plane gets higher. The air pressure drops while humidity levels plummet. The combination of dryness and low pressure reduces the sensitivity of your taste buds to sweet and salty foods by around 30%. Obesity costs Americans $147 billion each year. People who are obese pay more out of pocket than people who are not. The medical costs for people with obesity are $1,429 higher each year than those of people with a normal weight. Men with waist circumferences in the highest 10% of measurements were 20 times more likely to develop type 2 diabetes than men whose waist circumferences fell in the lowest 10%. Like, follow, share, and subscribe for more super fantastic facts.